Hello and welcome to lunch therapy. I need some therapy. My upload speed, my internet did not allow me to do live streaming today. It's okay though. I mean, what can you do? What can you do? It's humiliating. It's frustrating. It's, a lot of us have some expectations of like what's going to happen. And it's kind of like going to India. When I first went to India years ago, one of the things that struck me about India was when you get there, you have all this expectations. Well, this was in 2000. This is in 2000. It was very different than it is here. People have different priorities. People had different technologies. People looked at life in a different way. You come there from the Western world at that time, and you're just like, you're already in the like, I got to have it now. I got to do it now. Everything's got to happen now. And you get over to India and try and pick up your luggage from the luggage carousel, and it's not there, and then you have to go to a line, and then the line is not a line. It's a big mob of people just crowding around a little desk where a guy is typing one finger at a time. That's what was happening to me at the airport in Delhi. And, a few things like that happen and you get really frustrated and maybe yell, make a fool out of yourself because you're you think you're so important. And you think that your time is so valuable that at a certain point you just got to let go. Just got to let go and start enjoying yourself and start enjoying things for what they are and not having an expectation of how they should be, but actually look and see what is it that's great about this moment. Well, when I was trying to live stream and the internet seemed to be failing me, I was battling against it, trying to get through it, but I was very, very distracted by it. And it just doesn't help. Finally, I just cut bait. And I'm here now in a very calm situation where we're just recording the show. I have a picture of the chat room from today. I'm still going to try and Skype in Tom Kearney, comedian here in Los Angeles. He's going to Skype in and we're going to have some fun. I am still going to talk about what we were talking about yesterday, which is very, very important to wrap up. We were talking about this ad in the comic books of this skeleton that you could buy called Boney. And, there were actually two ads. There was the monster-sized skeleton and then the monster-sized monsters. I ordered the monster-sized skeleton for $1.75, and I waited 6 months for it to show up. And when it showed up, it was just a poster. It wasn't bones, wasn't bony. You could not dance around with the bones. I thought it was going to be an actual skeleton, actually. I thought it was going to be a skeleton that you could move around and scare your friends and just have a good old time. And it wasn't. It wasn't. I was very disappointed. Very disappointed by that. Scarred. I felt scarred by it because I had put all my faith in the Honor House Corporation and found that they were misnamed. And there was no honor at the Honor House. And I held this in, this kind of disappointment, this kind of let down It's almost like a programming. Like you're like, people are going to let you down. But I still, at the time, I still had a belief that I could still, at least get the monster, the big Frankenstein. And I thought maybe that would be more real, at least 3-dimensional or something. Because I figured, well, maybe they ran out of skeletons, or maybe it was illegal to get skeletons. And I had like all these ideas. And of course, I ordered the monster and waited the 6 months, and it was another poster. Plastic poster. Not really as advertised. A little later on in life, I got the Steve Martin poetry book, The Cruel Shoes. I don't know, you guys are probably big fans of that kind of stuff as well. I'm still trying to figure out how to point here. Cruel Shoes, fantastic book of poetry by Steve Martin. I could recite the whole poem, as many of us can. My mom got me the hard copy book of it. And I was like, it was very precious to me, so much so that I carried it around everywhere I went. And I actually was going to the bookstore to see if there were more Steve Martin books. And I rode my bike and I put the book on the seat of the bike, and I went into the bookstore. And when I came out, the book was gone. Someone had stolen my hardcover copy of Cruel Shoes by Steve Martin. That also included the poem Cows in Trouble, I believe. So that kind of was annoying. And so later on in life, I had held on to this for a long time, like this loss of the Cruel Shoes book and the skeleton. And I told my wife about it, about the skeleton. And next thing you know, there was a big box at our house. Big box. Wrapped present. And inside of that box was Boney. There he is. There he is. I mean, I could dance around with him. I could scare my friends. I could do like a puppet show. Hey, I'm Boney. Hey, good to see you guys. So glad to see you all here. Sorry we couldn't do the live stream, but this is just as good. I got the chat room, and I'll be able to watch some of the stuff that you guys are doing. Anyway, I probably should have brought the microphone down. Let me try it. So later on the show, we're going to have the monster come in, and it's going to be really great. So stick around. Thanks, Boney. And just also to wrap that up, the Cruel Shoes. Told my friend Alex about this. Alex is a chef. Lives in New York City. And you know what? The next day, boom, hardcover copy of The Cruel Shoes. He picked it up at some used bookstore, just like that. These things are not a big deal. Your letdowns are not, my letdowns are not as big of a deal as one might, as you might think. So here I am in my garage doing some stand-up comedy. There is no audience right now. There's no audience, but that's okay. I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can bring on Tom Kearney later on. I don't know what it's going to be like. Internet's so crazy, but we're going to try and do a little Skype thing. I just wanted to bring up some other thing here. And that is let go. Just let go for a day. I know a lot of us are dealing with stuff that's a lot harder than bad internet. So let's just all take a breath. Things might not be perfect now, but there's little things to learn in the midst of all this. So here we go. Let's see what happens with Tom. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to see if I can call him on the Skype. This should be a mess, but let's see. Let's see. Here he is. And I'm calling him. I got to put my headset on for this. Hopefully he's going to pick up. Tom Kearney. Welcome.
Jolton Joel.
It's crazy.
What? Hands of a Sailor. What's up? What?
What's with that crazy outfit you're wearing? It's pretty cool.
What are you talking about?
That
this is just me. This is how I roll at home, man. This is my quarantine get-up. This is pretty much how I do it. Hey, man, I'm in Hollywood, baby. You wouldn't this is Hollywood
stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't understand that
stuff.
You know what? Can you tell me, does your shirt say something?
Yes, it says Curbside Confessions. This was one of my TV shows I did.
Tell us about
it. Clearing the conscience of America one town at a time. Boy, do we need that more now than ever. I'm sitting here having a nice quiet read.
What does it mean?
Reading the.
Oh, what are you reading?
Curbside Confessions?
Yeah.
It was a TV show. Okay, so get this. I built a confessional, and it was on a trailer, right? And it was pulled by a van, and the trailer had a confessional on it, right? And we drove around the country clearing the conscience of America one town at a time. It was pretty cool.
Did it work?
Well, no. I mean, a lot of people went to hell, but at least they had a clear conscience.
That's good. That's good. What is the magazine you're reading there?
Okay, well, I'm just sitting down here. This came in the mail today, and I'm glad it did, because it couldn't be more topical in a timely fashion. Turner's Outdoor Magazine, and I think you're gonna enjoy this, Joel, because they have a great sale on Glock 9s. Because I think you might need one for the wife, right? A Glock 9. So I thought that's a pretty good thing. You know, the interesting thing about this magazine is that you got all these components that you can buy, all these different components for your guns, right?
I see.
So you can put it together yourself and make a submachine gun.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, everybody needs a submachine gun, right?
Well, you got to take care of the family.
Right. Hey, what's that picture on the wall? Is that your headshot?
What? Say it again? Oh, yes. No, this is Steve McQueen. And then over here you can't see, but there's Paul Newman and Robert Redford. Wow. From Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Yeah, those are my guys. I just sit here and talk to them when I'm lonely, but
it's a good idea.
It's good. It's good. So this whole gun thing is crazy. Do you remember when they had 9/11 and they had pilots carrying guns?
Yes, I do. They had pilots carrying guns, and they had some kind of sheriff or something on there that would come on board.
Oh yeah, you had I think they still may have that, but having that, I can't believe we lived through that. I mean that was crazy.
And now we're living through this. This is
your captain speaking. We're currently flying at an altitude of. Your co-pilot today is currently strapped with a snub-nosed .38. It's got the speed grip and hairpin trigger. And your captain today is currently packing a Glock 9
It's got the hollow tip ammunition that could rip through your chest the size of the Grand Canyon. Which, by the way, is on your right.
I met a pilot one time, and he said that they all speak, or his pilot friends all speak with a Southern accent because it
That's right, they
gives
do.
them more, and they don't have one. It just gives for some reason, it gives the passengers, just more confidence.
That's funny because it's exact opposite for almost every other work environment that you can think of.
What do
I
you
mean,
think that
can
is?
you imagine talking to your surgeon? He's going to work on your leg. Hey, Dr. Ref, tell me, I got to get this Achilles fixed. Oh yeah, hell yeah, we'll get that thing done for you right now. It's real quick there, son.
Which leg is it again? I can't remember. We'll put
Oh,
an
that's
X on one
funny.
of them.
That happened to me, because I snapped one Achilles playing basketball, right? And
Yeah.
I snapped the other one. Okay, so on the first one that I did, Dr. Ref, he was wheeling me in to get the thing done, right? And I was going under anesthesia, so I was just about to pass out, and I can see him writing on my leg, and he's writing on with a Sharpie. And I go like, "That's the leg you're not going to do, right, Doc?" And he was like, "Give me that." He's looking at the paperwork. He's like, "What the fuck?" And he's like yelling at the nurse. "You see, that's why I don't like to do this shit." And he's like licking his leg, and he's trying to get it off there right as I'm going out. And then as he's wheeling me in out of surgery, I woke up. He said he never saw anybody wake up so fast. He was astonished that I was waking up. And I just looked at him. I said, "You did the right leg, right, Doc?"
Terrifying.
And no, he didn't. He didn't.
That's why you had two of them.
Yeah.
Two
No,
Achilles
I
surgery.
snapped the other one. I snapped the other one 8 years later. And here's the screwed up thing. He told me, he said, you got an 80% chance of snapping the other one. Because if you continue doing what you do, if you continue being you will snap the other one.
What is it that you
And then
do?
so 8 years I carried that around, right? Everything I did, I'm like going, oh fuck, this is it. And I was diving, and I was in the middle of the air, and because it has to do with compression and rapid acceleration. So I was in the middle of the air, and I snapped it, and I'm like going, I was just in the middle of the air, and I was like floating through space, and I was like, thank God it's over. And I hit the water, and I was like, ugh. But I knew I snapped it like in midair. It was a very strange, but
Did it make a sound?
but oh shit! You wouldn't believe it. When I was playing basketball, it was so loud in my body that I was like laying on the ground, and everybody's hand. I thought I was shot because it's like bam, and it reverberates through your body, right? And I'm pulling people down. The guys standing around. I'm going, get down, get down. And then they carried me to my car, and I couldn't believe I drove out of there. And then I was like halfway there, and I was like, "Get my ball!" And he go, Which one? It's the one that says TK on it, man." So at least I had the frame of mind not to forget my basketball.
That's crazy. Now, where was this happening? Here in Los Angeles?
It was in LA. Yeah. Down off Marine and Aviation. There's a park out there, a pickup basketball park that they kind of shut it down because they had some problems. It was kind of a rough little court.
How long does it take for something like that to heal?
I was in a cast for 9 months.
Oh my God.
So the thing that happened with me was that I was in a cast, and then it came off, but the doctor wrapped it with this really thick, because they had to go into my calf muscle and pull it back down and then put them back together, and then they wrap it with this really gnarly like nylon. It's not like surgical stuff. It's like something you go fishing with. It's like this really thick stuff. So it started to unravel, and it was sticking out of my leg, and I went skiing, and it was like sticking in my boot, and I could feel it, and I was like, oh, this is not good. You could see it like trying to get out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I went back to Dr. Ref, and he was like going, well, we should probably get rid of that. Do you want to get rid of it?
You can have,
and I was like,
it
yeah, please get rid of it. And so they had to open me up again, take everything out, and then put me back in a cast again. And so that was a twofer. So I got a 2-1 on that. Yeah.
Do you ever think that maybe you're going to snap again?
No, these things are bionic now. So I've done both of them. So I'm evened out. I can't really I don't know. It's like you have to teach yourself how to walk again because your balance is all weird and everything else. And so,
You know, my dad snapped his Achilles tendon and it saved his life.
it saved his life.
Saved his life. Because what happened was they were fixing it and they looked at the bottom of his foot and they were like, what is that big black mark on the bottom of your foot? And he's like, I don't know. I never looked at it. And they said, we got to take a biopsy of that. They took a biopsy and he had some weird kind of cancer on the bottom of his foot. And they were like, we got to get that out of there because that'll kill you. And so they had to take a few toes off.
Shit, I better check the bottom of my foot.
They never would have seen it otherwise. They never would have seen it otherwise.
That happens a lot. My brother-in-law had some tooth done, and they looked in his throat, and they said, "What the hell is that?" I go, "Did you swallow some kind of golf ball back there?" Because so that he had like throat cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, it pays to go to the doctor, but those days are going to be over. This whole thing, going to a doctor is over. It's up to us. We have to do it ourselves at this point.
I think you made a movie about that.
I did. Oh, Jesus. It's pretty funny. We were up for Best Comedy in Amsterdam, and we were just about to play in the Hollywood Film Festival, and all this happened, and they just canceled it. But it's very funny. It's about a drug, a guy a druggist in a drugstore, and people just come to him with ailments, and he tells them what to do. He's like, this one kid has warts, and he was like going, well, this is what you do, kid. You put the duct tape over the wart-infected area. You leave it there for about a week, and you rip them out at the roots. And the kid's like, "Would it work down there?" And he goes, "Down where?" Oh, kid, there's some things that duct tape shouldn't do. So,
oh my God.
So our thing, my brother has a pain in his chest. And so we don't have no insurance or anything. So I go to the library and I get a book, but this is all in the drugstore. I kind of explain it. And I've read up enough about the thing for the last few days, and I think I can do it. But we just need some sterilizing equipment, to get this stuff sterilized. Because I'm gonna be going into this guy's chest.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna open up the area, and then anyway, so it goes on and on and on.
We're gonna all be doing performing surgery on ourselves.
But the last guy that comes in, right, exactly. But the last guy that comes in, he's got a big wound on his neck. And he comes in and he's like, "What do you got that I could use to stitch?" And the druggist goes, "I'm not supposed to say this, but super glue." Aisle 5.
I saw the movie. The movie's fantastic. It's just so well done.
Well, wait till you see ours. Ours is coming out.
Joel,
Joel.
Tom
Yeah, we got a movie
coming out.
Yeah, and that's going to be something
Brothers
else.
Inc.
But everything. That's Brothers Inc.
Yeah.
And
How's that coming along?
it's pretty much done. But what are you going to do with it? I can't get a meeting with Netflix to save my life.
Have you heard about that thing where you can watch Netflix with a friend via the internet now?
Well, of course, there's all those apps. Those dating apps are now virtual.
Really?
And I don't think it's a good idea because a buddy of mine just did it, and he had a date with some girl, but she had she's wearing this flannel shirt. She hasn't showered in 5 days. She's like, you can tell she hasn't brushed her teeth. There's flies all over the place, and she's like, personal hygiene has just gone to hell at some point. So I don't. They're not going to be trying to impress anybody on a computer. So I just don't think I don't see anything good coming out of this.
There's nothing good coming out. No, I think there's some good things, but
unless it gets into virtual sex, where it goes, "Show me yours and I'll show you mine."
That's already happening. Tom.
I guess. You know what? I don't know. I'm getting old, man. I'm not, this wasn't around when I was dating. I don't even know how to approach it. I wouldn't know what to do.
Is your mom still alive?
Yes, she is.
How's she doing through this whole thing?
She's doing good. She's up in Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
She's a pastor. She works in a church.
She does.
Yeah. She's a minister in a church.
Was your mom like a hippie or something?
She was. I think she still is.
Yeah.
I think once you are, yeah, it's like you're bitten by the beast, and that's
Okay.
it. But it's funny. It's funny. Like I grew up in a commune, and when I was a kid, and all these people in the commune now, there was lightning and moonbeam and sunshine and all these people, right? And now they're all like entertainment lawyers, and they're all like my good friend Lightning, who's like one of the top intellectual property right lawyers in the country. You know,
Does he go by Lightning?
no, but that I would love to see that. Lightning, would you please approach the
Yeah, I don't
bench?
know. I mean, we have people
He's
that we
like,
know
yeah,
named Dancing Bear and Gleaming Way and all these things.
yeah, he's like, Your Honor, what we have here is a blatant disrespect for the law. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Why are you
My
named
mom's.
Tom and not like Flying Rainbow or something?
That's the thing. I was always like, it was very boring for me. It was like you had all these kids without, like, one of them was named Mowgli. He got a name Mowgli, and I was like going, and there's all these people, and then there's Tom. Tom,
How
there's
boring.
Tom. He don't.
Utterly boring.
I was never to be trusted.
Something's wrong with that guy. He doesn't have a weird name. Did what kind of a commune was it? Was there any kind of religion involved in that? Was it a cult?
No religion. I don't think so. It was a peace, love, and rock and
San
roll, pretty
Francisco?
much. I think. Oregon.
Oh, Oregon, like the Bhagwan,
So
but
it
before
started in San Francisco. Yeah, it migrated. It migrated up, and then just like every commune situation, things get weird. And my mom packed us all up in a 1958 Chevy school bus,
that. Wow.
and we traveled the country for a
No
year.
way.
And she was a school teacher, so we were homeschooled and all that. And not that anybody was checking, but this thing was great. It was called the Screaming Yellow
This is like
Zonker, and it was a
Captain
yellow
Fantastic
bus.
or whatever.
It was, but it was like the Partridge Family, but none of us could
Screaming
sing.
Yellow Zonkers, remember those? It's delicious.
Yes,
Do
that's
they
what it
have
was
those
named
anymore?
after.
Oh,
No, we should
sad.
bring him back. But this school bus had antlers in the front. She had antlers, and all the stuff on top of the school bus. It was like all of our trunks and stuff. So it was my job to like jump up there, and she would yell, get I need the black skillet, and I need the spice rack, and then I'd have to jump down and stuff. It was a trip.
Crazy.
It was a trip.
How do you think that changed you? Is that why you're a comedian and an actor and a filmmaker and all these things, because you lived this bizarre upbringing?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it depends. Like I often think about that because my, if we stayed in Chicago and I grew up in Chicago and became a lawyer like my brother did, life experiences kind of steer you into your
Did
path.
your brother stay in Chicago, or was he on the bus with you?
Yeah, he stayed in Chicago. He's a lawyer in
Wow, so
Chicago.
he's like a totally different dude.
Totally.
Did you guys get along?
Totally. Yes, we do. We get along very well, but we live in different worlds.
Yeah.
And so those worlds kind of they don't mirror each other that well. And so there's when you talk about things, I think we get together and we talk and we get along and we share a lot of ideas and we go back and forth. It's just that his world is so much different than mine.
Yeah.
And he's fascinated by my world, but he's very conservative, wears a suit every day and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I could never do it.
You, I know for a while there you forayed with the ice skating rink business, and you were making ice skating rinks.
Yeah. I don't,
Was that?
I don't even know how the hell I got into that, but I did. And I started a company. And we built ice skating rinks for 12 years, all over the country, Chicago, Seattle.
You don't even know how you got
San
into it. You
Francisco.
just suddenly were just started just pumping
Well,
out
I'll
ice
tell you
skating
the
rinks.
story.
Looks like this nice ice
Well,
skating rink could go right here.
Well, that's what I would do. I would walk around and I go, this place needs an ice skating
Everybody
rink.
needs an ice
And
skating
then
rink.
I'd go, I'd contact. I went to Legoland. Legoland needs an ice skating rink, and I went there with a proposal, and they were going, you know what, Tom, you're right. Legoland does need an ice skating rink.
No way.
And
Did
you're
you
the guy.
build Legoland's ice skating rink?
I sure did.
Wow. You know, I was talking about Legoland yesterday because I went to Legoland as a kid in Europe with my parents. And when I came back to show and tell, I told everybody, and they thought I was lying
There's yeah.
because it
Yeah.
was just seemed unbelievable that you could be driving around Lego
Well, I think you
cars.
walked on the moon too, huh, Joel?
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, right, pal. Sure, pal. What else can you do? You got to probably have a skeleton in your closet.
Oh, you got more than one.
Did I ever show you this? Did I ever show you this guy?
Oh, you do have a skeleton.
Yeah, I
What's
do.
his name?
Boney.
Boney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you like him? He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's very cool, man.
I was doing a little puppeteering earlier
Okay.
with him.
All right.
But anyway, there's more about it at the beginning.
There's something there, man. There's well, actually, there's that prop comic that does he has one that he uses.
Remember, there's like Craig Ferguson or whatever had like
Yeah.
a sidekick that was that guy. That was cool.
Really? Okay, I don't remember that,
I
but
don't know.
I'll take you
Google it. I've seen it on the Google.
on the Google.
Yeah, I've seen it on the Google.
All right.
So anyway, I guess I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I'm just amazed that we got through.
We're just
this.
getting started, pal.
I'm amazed we got through this. You know, I'll bring you back on the show. And
Hey,
maybe
I got a lot to tell you.
when days are better. But I want to thank you for being my first guest on the show,
It's an absolute honor.
and for figuring out this thing. I mean, I don't know. It was real bumpy today, but
Well,
that's the
you know
world,
what? You're not alone. Sachi and Sachi just had a big meeting, and I can listen to my wife because she works there, and so they're having this huge meeting. They were having Skype with 465 people at once.
Oh my god, that's gotta be Zoom.
So there's an internet issue everywhere. A lot of people are having it. You're not alone. You're in good
Okay.
company, Joel.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and thanks for coming on. I'm gonna let you go here in the
All right,
the
buddy.
easiest way possible. I think I'll just click on the end
All right.
of the Skype. But
Thank you,
anyway,
Joel.
thanks,
We're
Tom.
going for Joel Marshall,
Thanks
ladies
for
and gentlemen.
checking in. I'll talk to you soon.
right.
Okay, bye.
Ciao, Bello.
All right, that was Tom Kearney. I don't know. First guest. Pretty fun. He's a fun guy. I knew he'd be very willing to do whatever. And that was what was fun about it. We're going to have more guests on this thing. I don't know about the streaming. The streaming thing is weird. It's definitely a problem. I just am going to take a couple of suggestions from the chat room real quick. Let's see what we got here. You should call Spectrum. Yeah. And then someone called it sputum. I think that's pretty funny. Yeah, we had some people in our chat room. I want to thank everybody for being in the chat room today. Hopefully things are going to get better. But, we're rolling with the punches here at the Lunch Therapy. Let me know if you want to have some guests or, email me at mythclub@gmail.com. And I will be talking to you soon. This is Joel Marshall, and over and out.